You know how sometimes one small thing can make everyone on the internet go crazy? Well, that's exactly what happened with Johnny Depp's newest look. Not long ago, Johnny was seen walking around outside. Just a regular day, right? But there was one thing that everyone kept looking at. The ring on his finger. Not just any ring. That special ring. People went totally wild right away. Is it a wedding ring? Did he get married in secret? Or is this just another Hollywood trick? A planned show made to keep everyone wondering. Honestly, you can't really blame people for wanting to know. It's Johnny Depp we're talking about. A guy who's always been full of mystery, art, and a little bit of craziness. If you've been paying attention to the gossip lately, you know what I mean. Every fan page, every celebrity magazine, even jewelry experts online have been studying this thing frame by frame. It's like everyone's become a detective at this point. And today we're jumping right into it. Not just to talk about what happened, but why. We're going to look at the ring, the dates, the rumors, and what might really be true about all of this. Because this story isn't just about a piece of jewelry. It might show us something deeper about who Johnny really is, or how good he is at playing the fame game. So stick around, because the surprise at the end might completely change how you think about this story. Okay, let's start from the very beginning. It all started when Johnny was seen leaving a nice little coffee shop in Paris. He was dressed like he always is, super cool without even trying. You know, that messy style only he can make look good, sunglasses on, comfy clothes, looking like he just walked out of a movie. But what really grabbed everyone's attention wasn't the clothes or the cool feeling. It was the shine of a ring on his finger. Now, this isn't just some regular piece of jewelry. This was a thick gold ring sitting nicely on his left hand. You know which finger I'm talking about. Of course, the internet did what the internet always does. Zoomed in, took screenshots, cut the photos, drew circles, compared pictures, and shared everything. Within hours, hashtags were all over the place. Johnny Depp was everywhere on Twitter and Instagram. People started asking lots of questions. Is this a wedding ring? Did he get married secretly? Or is it just a cool accessory? Some fans thought it was sweet and romantic. Other fans thought it was all fake, a trick to get people talking before his next big movie. And to be honest, the timing does make you think. See, just a few weeks before this coffee shop sighting, there were quiet rumors online about Johnny spending lots of time with a certain European movie maker, someone he met while making a film in Budapest. At first, people thought it was just work stuff. You know, normal movie crew hanging out. But as people saw them together more and more, fans started to guess that maybe, just maybe, there was something romantic going on. Some sources said the two had become really close friends. Other people said it was only about work. But the real truth, nobody actually knew for sure. Here's where it gets really interesting. Johnny has done this before with jewelry, especially rings, to tell stories. Back in the early 2000s, he wore a ring that people thought was an engagement ring. Turns out it was actually a present for someone else. The media went totally nuts back then too. So, it's not the first time a ring on Johnny's finger has caused a bunch of rumors. It almost feels like we've seen this before, doesn't it? Now, if you follow Johnny for a while, you know he's not exactly easy to figure out. One minute he's doing these deep, thoughtful interviews about art, being alone, and music. The next minute, he's showing up somewhere nobody expected, leaving fans and reporters guessing what he's doing. He's mysterious. That's part of what makes him cool and part of his plan. So, when he suddenly wears a ring without explaining anything, of course, people are going to make up their own stories. Is it a sign of love, a secret message to someone special, or maybe just a smart way to distract people from something else happening behind the scenes? It could be any of those things. And that's exactly why this story has gotten so much attention. Now, here's where we get to the really juicy part, the inside information. According to one fashion stylist who's actually worked with Johnny, every single piece of jewelry he wears means something. But here's the twist. What it means isn't always what people think. She once said, every piece of jewelry he wears tells a story, but not always the one people think. That right there might be the answer to this whole mystery. So what does that tell us? That ring could mean something personal, something private, or something that's just a symbol. Maybe it's a souvenir from a movie. Maybe it's a reminder of a person, a place, or even a character he played. Another Hollywood insider shared an even bigger secret. They told Page 6 that Depp is working on a new movie right now. And guess what? The ring might actually be part of his costume. Yes, a prop for the movie. If that's true, then all this craziness could be people mixing up movie stuff for real life. And honestly, if that's what happened, it's kind of genius. Because, let's be real, nobody knows how to mix up reality and acting quite like Johnny Depp. He's been doing it his whole career. If this ring is part of a character or a story in a movie, then this is really smart advertising. It's quiet, mysterious, and totally matches his style of surprise and art. Now, don't get me wrong, this doesn't mean the rumors are totally wrong. There's still a possibility the ring does mean something personal. But if we've learned anything from Johnny over the years, it's that he loves to keep people guessing. He knows the media will make up stories. He knows fans will wonder and guess. And sometimes he seems to like it. Here's another fun detail that's got fans excited. There's talk of an interview coming up where Johnny might finally talk about the ring himself. People who know him say this could be the first time he even brings it up in public. But here's the thing. If you follow Johnny Depp for any amount of time, you probably know what's coming. He's not the type of person who just gives a simple, clear answer. He's poetic, mysterious, sometimes really confusing. The kind of guy who will talk for 5 minutes, make you listen to every word, and somehow you'll realize you still don't really know what he meant. That's just how he is. And that's part of why people can't stop talking about him. If you look back at his interviews over the years, this happens all the time. When reporters ask him about his movie roles, his relationships, or even his problems, he tends to go into these thoughtful, almost dreamy explanations. He'll talk about art, about feelings, about life being like a performance. He'll mention philosophers or poets. He'll turn something simple like a question about a ring into thoughts about love, freedom, or time. It's like he's not really giving an answer. He's telling a story. And maybe that's why his fans love him so much. He doesn't feed the gossip directly. He changes it, reshapes it, makes it into something else. So, when people say Johnny might talk about the ring in this interview coming up, don't expect a yes or no. Don't expect him to say, yes, I got married, or no, it's just jewelry. That's not how he does things. If he mentions it at all, he'll probably do it in a way that makes people ask even more questions. He might smile that half smile of his, wait a long time, and say something like, rings have a way of finding their own meaning, don't they? And that'll be it. The audience will lean forward wondering if that was him saying yes or a clever way of avoiding the question. And honestly, that's kind of brilliant. It's his quiet way of staying in control of the story. For years, the media has tried to decide who Johnny Depp is. The handsome guy, the weird one, the rebel, the comeback story. But every time they try to put him in a box, he manages to get out. He doesn't let them write his story for him. He writes it himself, word by word, move by move, ring by ring. Fans know this about him. They expect it. They even love it. There's something nice about a famous person who doesn't follow the rules of modern fame. In a time where everyone shares too much on social media, Johnny stays hard to figure out. He rarely posts personal stuff. He avoids explaining things publicly. Even when he's in trouble, he somehow manages to keep a wall of mystery around him. It's like he understands that curiosity is power. The less he says, the more people want to know. And that's why this rumored interview is such a big deal. Everyone's waiting to see whether he'll open up or dance around the question with his usual charm. Remember how he answered questions during his past interviews? When asked about his tattoos, he once said, "My body is a journal." That one sentence started 1,000 fan theories and articles. When asked about his relationships, he'd say things like love is like art. It doesn't need to make sense to be real. Again, unclear but powerful. That's Johnny in a nutshell. A guy who turns even the simplest moment into poetry. So, imagine him sitting down for this interview, maybe with a cup of coffee or a glass of wine, wearing that same ring that's making everyone crazy. The interviewer leans in, smiles, and says, "Everyone's been talking about your ring. Is there something you want to tell us?" And then he laughs softly, maybe taps the ring against the table, looks up with those dark, thoughtful eyes, and says something like, "Some things are meant to be worn, not explained." Just like that, a line that means everything and nothing at the same time. And that's when the internet would go wild. Fans would study every word, every move, every pause. Some would swear it's proof he got married. Others would argue it's all acting, but everyone would be talking about it. That's the power Johnny has. Even staying quiet becomes a story when it comes from him. People who've worked with him describe the same thing on movie sets. He's careful with his words, but also playful. He likes to keep people guessing. He might tell a story halfway through, then stop, smile, and say, or maybe it didn't happen that way. He knows mystery is valuable, and that mystery keeps him timeless. It's also why fans stay so protective of him. They feel like they get him, not through facts, but through the feeling he gives them. He's one of those rare celebrities who can be totally unpredictable and still make you feel like he's talking directly to you. That connection, that charm, that unpredictability. It's what makes him unforgettable. And maybe that's what makes this Ring story so interesting. It's not just about whether he got married or not. It's about what it represents. The idea that Johnny Depp is still the same mysterious person he's always been. He's still playing with what people think, still creating stories in ways only he can, even if he never says yes or no to anything. The way he handles this moment will say everything about who he is. Maybe he'll make a joke about it. Maybe he'll turn it into a comparison about love and art. Or maybe he'll just shrug it off completely, pretending it's not important, while secretly knowing that millions of people will think about that shrug for weeks. He's become a master of being both open and closed at the same time, sharing parts of himself while keeping the heart of the mystery safe. It's like a magic trick that never gets old. Every word he says, every ring he wears, every look he gives, it's all part of the show. And yet somehow it's all real too. So yes, there's an interview coming, and yes, people are waiting for answers, but the truth is Johnny might not give them what they want. And that's exactly what keeps his fans coming back. He doesn't give closure. He gives curiosity. And in the world of celebrities, that's way more powerful because deep down people don't really want all the answers. They want the mystery. They want to wonder. They want to believe there's still someone in Hollywood who doesn't live for headlines, but for the story behind them. Johnny Depp is that someone. And no matter what he says or doesn't say in that interview, the legend will only grow. So when that moment finally comes and he's asked about the ring, don't expect a confession. Expect a puzzle wrapped in charm, topped with that signature smirk. He'll probably leave everyone more confused than before, but also completely fascinated because that's what he does best. He makes not knowing feel like part of the adventure. And maybe that's the point. Maybe the ring isn't meant to give answers. Maybe it's meant to remind us that mystery still exists in a world that tries to explain everything. And if anyone knows how to keep that mystery alive, it's Johnny Depp. So if he does bring up the ring, don't be surprised if he turns it into a comparison about love, identity, or storytelling. He might even change the subject completely. It's all part of the mystery. Now, here's where I want to hear from you. What do you think? Do you believe Johnny Depp secretly got married? Or is this whole thing just a smart way to keep the spotlight exactly where he wants it? On him. Because if there's one thing we've learned over the years, it's that Johnny knows how to control his story. He's unpredictable. He's creative. And he's always one step ahead. So maybe that ring is more than a piece of jewelry. Maybe it's a statement, one that says, I'm still in control of my story. Whatever the truth is, there's no denying it. The man knows how to keep the world watching. And if you've enjoyed figuring out this mystery with me, there's more where that came from. You got to check out our next deep dive. We're exploring celebrity secrets hidden in red carpet fashion. Seriously, once you see what some of those outfits really mean, you'll never look at a Hollywood event the same way again. But before you go, I'd love to hear your theories in the comments. Do you think Johnny's ring is real, symbolic, or staged? Let's talk about it down below, because this story is far from over. And hey, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps so much. Don't forget to subscribe and tap the notification bell so you won't miss the next mystery we uncover together. Really appreciate you watching and spending time here. It's always so fun to dig into these stories with people who care about the art, the emotion, and the meaning behind the headlines. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and remember, not everything that shines is just jewelry. Sometimes it's a message, sometimes it's a story, and sometimes it's just Johnny Depp being Johnny Depp. Now that we've looked at every angle, From the coffee shop sighting to the timeline of rumors to the insider secrets, I think we can agree on one thing. Whether this ring means love, rebellion, or performance art, it's done exactly what it was supposed to do. It's got us all talking. And that's the magic of Johnny Depp. He doesn't just act on screen. He turns life itself into a story worth watching. So if he's secretly married, congratulations to him. If it's a publicity stunt, bravo, it worked. And if it's just a ring, well, he still managed to make the world stop and stare. That's what makes him unforgettable. All right, I'll stop teasing you here. Go check out the next video, Celebrity Secrets Hidden in Red Carpet Fashion. It's a good one. Trust me. And as always, thank you for watching. This is your friendly narrator signing off, reminding you to stay curious, keep smiling, and never stop looking for the story behind the sparkle.